Hello, this is Mac, and we're Refocusing Barbados. I want to look at a very interesting, I should say, spectacle that's being played out right before our very eyes. And it has to do with the strategy of the leader of the opposition, Ms. Motley. And first, I would say Mrs. Motley's strategy is not a winning strategy. She's going nowhere with this. I cannot see what she will gain from this other than publicity, and I think it's reaching a stage where it's rapidly becoming negative publicity. But if you have a look at the events, you will realize that something was wrong. The speaker, we accept, was wrong in what he did. But the question was, and it still is, did he break any parliamentary rules? Did he break the rules of Parliament? And from my investigation and talking to people who know about the rules of Parliament, he has broken none. So what it was, and because the Speaker has settled the case, I understand, it was a civil matter. Parliament doesn't deal with civil matters in relation to its members. So the first mistake Ms. Motley made was to declare that she is not going to go back into Parliament until the Speaker is removed from the chair. And then I understand that what happened in Parliament that day was that the leader of the opposition referred the matter to the Committee of Privileges. Now, what I believe had happened or is happening is that Ms. Motley realized that since the matter was referred to the Committee of Privileges, what she has discovered is that when it goes there, she has to wait on the ruling. And then she said she is not going to go back into Parliament until the Committee of Privileges has ruled. There's a problem there. Which is it? What is really your position, Ms. Motley? This is the question I want to ask. What is really your position? Are you not returning because the Speaker still sits in the chair? Or are you awaiting the Committee of Privileges to rule? You see, this is boxing Ms. Motley into a corner. And it seems to me that it was not a carefully thought out approach or strategy. So what is going to happen is that the Speaker is going nowhere, as we can see. And what is happening to Ms. Motley is that she's finding herself in a very, very difficult position of not wanting to seem embarrassed, but I think she is. And she has found herself to be in an unretrievable or an irretrievable position. And she is making herself look bad. She cannot stay out of Parliament indefinitely because the Speaker will always be there. What is going to happen during the estimates debate? Will she stay away from Parliament while the Speaker is still in the chair? This is her position. If there is a budget, will she stay away from the budget? Will she boycott it? Now, if she does that, she will be abdicating her responsibility towards the citizens of this country. I cannot see how Ms. Motley can win this one. You see, when I look at Ms. Motley, I realize something, that she is not in the mold of the traditional Barbados Labour Party leader. It is obvious. There's nothing wrong with that. But she lacks the carefulness and the thoughtfulness of those other leaders that preceded her. I am not too sure where Mrs. Motley is going with this, because what I am looking at here is something that is fundamentally wrong in her style of leadership. I think Miss Motley ought to rather have her leadership absorbed by her party rather than her seeking to promote her personality and image. You see, this is a very dangerous path. And it's very dangerous for the party itself. Because she ought to be promoting the brand of the Barbados Labour Party. That is the smarter thing for her to do. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. The March of last year, she chose to wear white. Now, the colors of the Barbados Labour Party, the color of the Barbados Labour Party is red. Why not choose to promote the brand of the party, which is the bigger and larger and a more important thing, than to have it in white? Why was the color white chosen? And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing from this, the choosing of the white rather than the red, and what is happening here now. This seems to be Miss Motley promoting herself. That is my take on it. But why is she pursuing this path? Rather than build a party and have that party coalesce around her and her vision for the country. I think that would be a safer thing for her to do. And here's the real problem that we face as a country. There is no vision for the country coming from the opposition, and for sure the government doesn't have a vision for this country. So where are the people left? What are we left to do as a people? How can a party lead a country without a vision? The only people who can tell me that are the Dems, because they have been doing it for quite some time. And this is the reason why we are having so many problems. There is no sense of direction. And this, coming from the Dems now going into the Bs, if it so happens, after 10 years, this will be an extended period of visionless leadership. But I am worried. I'm worried because what I think has happened is that Miss Motley has become idle by this strategy. This is not the type of leadership the Barbados Labour Party wants at this time. This certainly cannot be. They are not used to that type of leadership. The leaders that have gone before Miss Motley have been very thoughtful, been very, very careful, very deliberate. And there is one thing you can say about Barbados Labour Party leaders. And that has been a characteristic of Barbados Labour Party leaders over the years. And you see, it's an organization with a lot of history. But I believe at this time that the party has been infiltrated by persons who have no idea of the history of the party, but who seek to be directing or pointing the party in directions that are inimical to its own interests and to its own good. See, and when you have that, people come into the party to to direct the party and guide it into all directions except the direction that is good for the party, you begin to alienate the core of your party. And you begin to see problems with failure of the party and its machinery to really work on the behalf of the party. So you're going to have at the core of that organization some very serious problems. And the problems will be problems of dislocation. But the question I want to ask, is this new direction fully representative of the organization's brand? Does it have a brand now? And what is that brand? I am hoping that we can have an opposition that is strong and effective, and that will seriously bring to the fore issues that are affecting this country. And we have a lot of issues that are affecting this country. And Ms. Marley ought to be focused on what is really our problem as a people. And also have to be focused on what is required of us as a people to extricate ourselves from this difficult position that we are in. Ms. Marley must realize that her actions have really boxed her in a corner, because there's another member of parliament who has a similar problem. But that member of parliament, as it has been revealed recently in the press, seems to have hurt thousands of people. So what will be her action? What will be her response? If she has taken this position on the speaker, what will be her position on the other member of parliament? And that's why I'm saying it is a losing strategy. You see, leadership cannot be hit and miss. It must be clear in its direction and effective in its decisions. I'm really looking to see how this will end. This has been Refocusing Barbados. Thank you for tuning in to us.